nicely, highs 73 to 75 tonight. Milder under fair skies, lows lower 50s. More warm spring-like weather ahead for the midweek, becoming breezy but dry through Thursday with highs back into the mid-70s. Did you know that your car talks to you? Are you listening? All those beeps, vibrations, and light-up icons are your car's way of communicating to help you be a safer driver. Learn more now at mycardoeswhat.org. And I'm Swargene 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Ward. On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Welcome to the Sabrena Realty Hour here on 1240 AM Hot News Talk Radio, where we talk all things real estate and community. We're so excited to be here with you today. I want to start off right off the bat talking about the market. There has never been a better time to buy a home. And if you're tired of making your landlord rich, you need to call Sabrena Realty Associates. Let us put you in that dream home. You would be amazed at how low the interest rates are and how much you can buy. You can buy such a big home for what you're paying in rent. It's unbelievable. And if you're thinking about selling your home, well, there's never been a better time to sell either, has there, Mark? And why should they call Sabrena Realty Associates?
Well, there's a number of reasons. Of course, you're the backbone of Sabrena Realty, and you've been in the business, 12 years?
Yep, and counting. And, of course, with rates as low as they are, I mean, I think we were talking to somebody recently that their rate was going to be 3 5/8. Yep.
That is unbelievable.
We have a lot of people getting between 3 and 4% right now.
Unbelievable. And, we don't have any of the hidden costs. We don't have an administrative fee and all of those different fees that can be tacked on that you don't really realize until you're sitting at the closing table.
Well, and we offer competitive commission rates. We're going to allow our sellers to save more of their commission where they can use that equity to put towards their next purchase. And like you said, there are no hidden fees, no administrative fees. You have nothing to lose by calling us, because if we don't sell your house, we don't get paid. And that is motivation to get it sold.
That's right. And, when a lower commission is paid, the seller's going to end up with more, but the buyer is going to end up paying less, because that whole process, that transaction, there's going to be a commission paid, and the less that it is, both parties win.
Well, I've been reading a lot of information about this year and the market and the predictions, and I want to share some information, 6 features that help a home sell faster. And this is from a report I got off Realtor.com. And according to them, we need to fasten our seatbelts because it's going to be a wild year in real estate. And chief economist Jonathan Smoke has predicted that home sales in 2016, that it will be a true seller's market. And here are 6 features, according to studies they've done to indicate that a home will sell faster. And some of these are surprising. First, if a home is a Spanish style. You know what I'm talking about? Spanish style home?
Yes.
Well, there's only 1% of them that make up the total homes that are out there on the market. But if it's a Spanish style home, it's proven statistically that the median time on the market is 47 days. That represents about a fourth of what the national average is. It's unbelievable. So if you've got a Spanish style home, you may want to think about selling it. If you have city skylines or homes with a view, this is the second best selling feature. If you have a home with a view or any kind of skyline or city view, it will help it sell. Stainless steel and granite are here to stay. So we find that buyers they still prefer that a home has stainless steel appliances, granite countertops. Number 4, and this used to be number 1. This is ironic how things change. Location, location, location. To me, that's still real important. That's up there in my top 2. Number 5, a big home. Studies show that homes that have more square footage get more traffic on the internet than any other home. People still they prefer a big home. And, we've heard of these tiny homes and how popular they're becoming. Studies show buyers still prefer a large home.
Well, that's a big plus for baby boomers and empty nesters that are wanting to downsize. If they've got a big home and all the kids are gone, this is a great time for them to sell that large home, get into a smaller one, which is what they want. And their large home should appeal to a lot more people.
Absolutely. And number 6, certainly not the least or the last, is the price is right. You've got to price that house right. And that's where we come in. You want to call a realtor out there to do a comparative market analysis, to look at the features and the amenities that your home offers, and to get it priced right. There's no point in being on the market for 3 or 4 months with an overpriced home, because you're wasting your time. And what's going to happen in the end is, in essence, I've seen sellers shoot themselves in the foot, because what's going to happen, a buyer's going to come in and lowball you. And it's better to do things right from day one. Call a real estate professional out there. Let them guide you. Let them make recommendations as to anything you need to do to get your home on the market. That first impression is everything.
And talking with a realtor that's going to tell you the truth, not necessarily what you want to hear, but tell you the truth about your home and how it's going to play out on the market. That's very
true.
important.
It's and you have to go with someone you can trust, that you know is telling you the truth, and they're going to be honest, and they're going to use the latest technology. They're going to be very strategic in their marketing plan, and they're going to give your home, put it out there, put it on the necessary websites, which kind of brings me up to the topic today. You know, statistics show that 92% of buyers find their home on the internet. It used to be that sign was the number one indicator for a sale. Not anymore. Now it's the internet, because this tech savvy world we live in, everybody wants everything right at their fingertips, and they want it when they want it right then. And so we have buyers that are looking on websites. So it's imperative for any seller that puts their home on the market, they have to have a major internet presence. They need to be on all the websites. Not that all these websites are accurate, because we as realtors know that we have the most accurate information, and you don't need to rely solely on those websites. But those are great resources to go to find a home and get basic and general information before you call your realtor. So with that being said, I want to kind of talk today about the importance of the internet. How important is it to have a website? We'll talk about those kinds of things, and bring in our guest. Mark, introduce our guest for us today.
Well, we've got Mike Fessler here with us today from Flypaper.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Excited to be here. I know it's an exciting time in real estate as well as digital marketing. And so, you know, my wife and we're loyal watchers of HGTV, and Fixer Upper is one of our favorite shows. And so, you know, we're thrilled to be here to talk about real estate and digital and how it kind of all intertwines together, and a little bit about Flypaper as well.
Well, kind of tell us what your role is at Flypaper and what you do, kind of what your title is. Yeah,
sure. So, you know, with any digital agency, you know, you wear a lot of hats. And so, you know, with our team, Flypaper is 3 years old, and we have 9-10 people on our team, and we all wear different hats. You know, so I do everything from social media campaigns to what I love most is meeting with businesses and business owners like you guys, Sabrena and Mark, and you know, determine if your needs will fit our solutions. And then from there, you know, we customize a package, you know, around your needs and around what is going to get you found online when people are searching. And so, you know, you mentioned a stat there earlier. We love stats at Flypaper. You know, 20,000 people on average here in the Chattanooga, the greater Chattanooga area, do some type of search around homes every single month on Google, Yahoo, or Bing. And so, you know, that's a lot of searches, a lot of activity. And for the business owner, keeping them in mind, this is how you put yourself in front of potential buyers, potential shoppers. And so Google is just one avenue that we use at Flypaper to, you know, help our clients and help businesses get found.
Right. Well, I use Google for everything, don't you? If you've got a
Absolutely.
question, I think everybody uses Google. So, how do you guys get that information? Do you have a relationship with Google, or
We do. Yeah. We're one of Google's 19 trusted partners. And so we have access to Google reps that we talk with and meet with every single week. We have well over 100 clients here in Chattanooga. And so, with our campaigns, they they all look different. They all take on different sizes and shapes. But we have to be on our toes, and we have to be in constant communication with Google, because our goal is to help our clients be the best.
Right.
And so if you're not winning, we're not winning.
That's true.
Sabrena, that you're one of our clients, and if you're out there telling everyone what a great job that Flypaper is doing for you, then that helps us. So it's a win-win for both of us. We're helping you get in front of consumers online, and if we do our job well, then you're going to go tell all your friends about us, right?
That's true. Well, for any listener out there that doesn't really know what digital marketing is, give us, just kind of define what you think digital marketing is, and then tell us kind of how you got into it, how you were drawn to it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, we were just talking beforehand, and I'm a late adopter when it comes to cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone actually until I got out of college. And even as far as Facebook goes, I was a late adopter to the Facebook
I was too.
Thing as well. So, but I got into it when I got in the mortgage world. So, I was a golf pro for 7 years and had no real need for Facebook, but found it. Was encouraged to get into it when I got into the mortgage world, just to use it for networking and building connections. So from that standpoint, I'm a little late adopter, but digital marketing as a whole, it's, what we like to say at Flypaper is digital marketing can be complicated, right? Most people are like, what is digital marketing? Yeah. So we aim to make it easy for our clients. And so we do that by building a brand that can't be ignored online. And so really that starts with your website. Your website is the foundational piece of digital marketing. And so I always use like an analogy with the shopping mall, right? So you would never build a shopping mall in the middle of a desert with no roads leading to it or going from it or around it. So picture here in Chattanooga, we've got Hamilton Place Mall, right? So your website is Hamilton Place Mall. Now, if you go to Hamilton Place Mall, obviously you're getting there by roads, and there's, if you've ever been there, there's a road going around the entire mall. Actually, two, I think.
You don't want to go out there at Christmas, by the way.
No, you do not. No. And so it starts with your website, but then we build roads going to and from your website. And so that's digital marketing, kind of in a nutshell. The roads can look like search engine optimization, search engine marketing, pay-per-click campaigns, social media, video advertising, display online. So if you go to timesfreepress.com, which happens to be the highest traffic website in Chattanooga, you're going to see ads at the top of the page and an in-story, and so that's a form of digital marketing. So
keep all that in mind, because I want to touch on each of those topics you just brought up. But I'm kind of curious, how important is a website for any business owner, whether it's a small business or a large business? How important is the website? And two, what do you look for when you say they've got a good website? What characteristics and qualities are you looking at to determine that's a good website?
Well, great questions. I love these questions. Number one, again, when we're starting foundationally, I believe that websites now, especially more than they ever have been, are the most important thing you can do as a business. It's coming close to rivaling even the physical location of a business, because your website is where consumers, shoppers, buyers can go online, and they can read about you 24/7, never closes. They can learn about you, find out what your passions are. If you have a team page or an About Us page, they can learn how you got started. They can find ways to contact you from phone numbers, online forms. also a great website is going to have connections to social media, your social media accounts. So it's important, because it's always on, it's always there. And if you've given a consumer the right information, then hopefully they're going to stay on your website for a while. They're going to contact you eventually and want to do business with you. So content is king is one thing that we say in the digital marketing world. And so with your website, you've got to have great content that delivers the information that the consumer is looking for. And then from there, you got to make sure you have great calls to action on your website. So it's easy for that consumer to get in touch with you. Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So a great website can let the little guy working out of his basement online compete with the biggest players in the industry, because you don't know he's in his basement. All you're seeing is what's on your screen, and it looks great.
Absolutely. And that's a great point, Mark. I just had this conversation with someone the other day, a smaller business, and what digital marketing has done as a whole is it's leveled the playing field. So traditionally, you've had your big car dealerships, the aquarium, places like that. They can run TV commercials, radio spots, and they can afford that. But what digital marketing has done is it's brought that smaller business, medium-sized business, which is really our sweet spot of who we work with. And it's giving them a voice. It's giving them an opportunity to, be a player in the game, so to speak. So,
Well, how often do you recommend your clients update their website or refresh it? How often do we need to be doing that? Because we don't want to be stale, obviously.
Sure. Well, I want to go back to the question you asked, Sabrena, earlier about what makes a great website. Yeah. And then I'll get into that.
That's good.
What makes a great website is responsiveness, mobile friendly. Mobile right now, you look at it at more than half, we're probably about 60% of all viewership is mobile related. So mobile means on your smartphone, your tablet, and you want your website to adapt when someone is looking at it from an iPhone versus a desktop.
Right.
Your screen is going to look much different. When you're looking at it from a phone, you only have so much real estate, so to speak, for someone to view you. And so you want to make sure that it's mobile friendly. And actually, Google came out last year with an update to their rankings that if your website is not mobile friendly, if it's not mobile responsive, then you will be hurt in the rankings as a result. Even if you do a search now on Google, and that business's page shows up in what we call a SERP page, it will actually tell the online viewer if the site is mobile friendly or not. And so really, really important that your website is mobile friendly. And then, I'm a visual nerd, geek, it has to look good. It has to display nice pictures, clean, simple. I love a wow factor. And so if I come to a website that's poorly done, that's poorly put together, I'm automatically
information.
I'm automatically judging that business based on their website. So that's my first impression. So first impressions are really key when building websites. And so we want to help present that wow factor for our clients, and obviously, help convert to more sales for them.
I would think it needs to be easy to navigate as well, user friendly.
Yeah.
And so how often does someone need to update the information that's on there? Tweak the appearance of it. Is that something you guys do? Do you sit down with your clients? Is it something you recommend? How often? Or does it depend on the business?
It depends on the business, but I would say overall, you want to be updating it monthly. If Google sees that, a site is sitting there stale and hasn't been updated in a long time, months, years, whatever the case may be, then you will be deducted in the rankings on Google. And so you've probably heard me talk a lot about Google. We don't just build a website and have it sit out there, kind of to go back to the shopping mall reference.
Right.
We want people to find it. And so the strategies that we put in place, from optimizing your website with keywords and good content, all help that website be found when someone is searching, not for your business name, but things related to you. Because that's the most important thing. If someone is searching for your business name on Google, your website better come up first, number one, right?
Yeah.
So we want to take it a step further. And if someone is searching for, hotels in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Right.
We want our hotel client to come up, early and often in Google if we're doing an optimization campaign for them. So
how affordable is digital marketing, and kind of, I guess, tell us what the menu of options are and kind of what the price ranges are.
Well, you tell us if it's affordable or not.
Everybody, well, nothing's ever cheap enough for me.
That's right. That's right.
I'm conservative. I want the best deal I can get and the most bang for my money.
Well, I think, and this goes back to the conversation that, that Mark brought up earlier, it's leveled the playing field. And so, where you might spend $5 to $10 to millions of dollars if you're doing ESPN spots, on a TV ad, with digital marketing, it's very cost effective. We have plans in place that can meet every shape and size of business. So we have big brands in Chattanooga here that we work with that everyone knows, even outside of Chattanooga, that are well known regionally. And for them, they spend big dollars to make sure that they are top of mind when someone is looking for them or their services online. But we also work with, and I mentioned it earlier, this is our sweet spot, is that small to medium sized business.
Yeah.
And so, not to give away our pricing structure to our competitors here, but it is very, very affordable. Well, you would be surprised.
Small businesses comprise 90% of the total businesses. And I'm always saying, hey, what have you got to offer for a small business? And you know that. Right. I mean, I'm always asking that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of small businesses out there, and they may not know that this is affordable. They may be thinking, well, that costs too much. So tell us about fly paper and why should someone choose fly paper, and kind of give us the history of fly paper itself.
Yeah. Well, real quick, I want to wrap up that affordability question too. We want to think of it from a standpoint of not just what you're paying to get a service.
Right.
It's really like an investment, right? So for your clients, they're making an investment into real estate, right?
Exactly.
So they purchase a home now. In 10 years, that's going to pay dividends for them at some point down the road, where they're going to sell it for, double of what they paid for it potentially. And I know I'm exaggerating there a bit, but the point is you're getting a return on your investment. So that's what business owners want. And so, we had a client back in December, January. We did a social media campaign for them, generated more than $80,000 in revenue, new revenue, over those 2 months. And so what they put into it was very, very little, compared to what they made off of the campaign. So, that's what we really try to focus on, is what this going to bring you. And then what's the cost of not doing it as well. So if you don't do it, then you lose out on, potential buyers and shoppers online. So
how do you track the return on investment for your clients? How do you do that?
Yeah, so we have a digital dashboard that all of our clients have access to. They're going to know all of their campaign stats. They'll be able to log into it there directly and see everything that we're doing for them. They're going to know how many clicks, how many visits to the website. So we track everything. We track phone calls even. And so we can see that those have converted into customers.
Yeah.
Digital marketing offers the ability to track metrics very, very closely, which really sets us apart.
So you're able at any time to sit down with your clients and show them exactly what kind of return they're getting on their investment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this is very interesting. I'm so glad that we've got you on for the next half hour.
Oh, it's awesome.
A lot of our guests come in for a 30-minute segment, but there's so much to go over. Really, we need a 10-hour show, but we'll wrap it up.
We really do. And after the break, I really do want to get into some more specifics, and especially social media, how that plays a role into it, as well as the search engine optimization and all that. So for anyone listening, Mike, that may not be able to come back after the break, tell them how they can get in touch with you if they're interested in finding out more about digital marketing, or even having you create a website.
Sure. Well, I mean, even to sit down, it's a free consultation with every business. So 770-315-7560. You can contact me directly, or flypaperchat.com, FLYPAPERCHATT.com.
Give that phone number one more time.
7 minutes and 40 seconds. We'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240. When the weather turns bad, turn to AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. On the net, hotnewstalkradio.com. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. From the Hot News Talk Radio Weather Center, Chattanooga, we've got you covered. When the weather turns bad, the Tennessee Valley turns to Hot News Talk Radio.
Go, 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 go. Our house in the middle of our street.
Hi, I'm Sabrena with Sabrena Realty Associates. Now is a great time to sell your home. In our area, inventory is at an all-time low, which translates into higher sales prices. Call us today at 423-499-7780 to set up a free consultation and discuss our unique and aggressive marketing programs. We will provide you with a free market analysis to determine the right value of your home. Call us today at 423-499-7780 or visit our website at SabrenaRealty.com.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house.
Hello, I'm Mike Little, candidate for criminal court judge with 25 years of criminal court experience, which makes me the most qualified candidate. The experience I have gained from handling over 4,000 cases in state and federal court has equipped me with the ability to be fair, impartial, and independent. As your next criminal court judge, I will focus on keeping Hamilton County safe. I view this position as a public service and will strive to improve the daily operations of court. I humbly ask for your trust and vote in the March 1st Republican primary.
Paid for by the committee to elect Mike Little, Barry Abbott, treasurer.
You need a place for your party or maybe a wedding reception for 100 or even more. Maybe you'd like to host a small trade show for your business and you need a very affordable venue. Are you looking for a place for your birthday gala or services to start up a church? Look no further than the Hidden Gem in Hickson. It's an overlooked, newly appointed reception hall right here in Hickson, Tennessee. Big space, small price. That's right, big space, small price. Call Mr. Chu and ask for a tour. 316-7388. That's 423-316-7388. He'll tell you a lot more about the venue. Rent this venue today. Just call 423-316-7388 and ask for Mr. Chu.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your Hot News Now update. The mother of a 3-year-old boy in Appleton who accidentally shot himself with a handgun has been charged with homicide in his death. Kelly Pittman was arrested on Monday on charges of child endangerment and criminally negligent homicide. Detectives say that the young boy was left inside the car unattended while his mother was speaking on the phone. He then somehow got his hands on a loaded .380 caliber handgun and shot himself in the head. He died on scene. The mother was booked into the Hamilton County Jail, placed under $500,000 bond. She's set to appear before General Sessions Court on Monday. The Hamilton County Board of Education on Monday voted 5-4 to not buy out the contract of Superintendent Rick Smith. Voting against were Rhonda Thurman, Caritza Mosley, Donna Horn, Greg Martin, and Steve Highlander. Voting in favor, Joe Galloway, David Testerman, George Ricks, and Chairman Jonathan Welch. Dr. Martin made a motion to terminate Mr. Smith. That did not get a second. If it's going on in the Tennessee Valley, it's going on Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Looking good out there through the afternoon with some sunshine, warming up nicely, high 73 to 75 tonight. Milder under fair skies, lows lower 50s. More warm spring-like weather ahead for the midweek, becoming breezy but dry through Thursday with highs back into the mid-70s. Did you know that your car talks to you? Are you listening? All those beeps, vibrations, and light-up icons are your car's way of communicating to help you be a safer driver. Learn more now at mycardoeswhat.org. And I'm Swargene 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Core. On AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
When the weather turns bad, turn to AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. On the net, hotnewstalkradio.com. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. From the Hot News Talk Radio Weather Center, Chattanooga, we've got you covered. When the weather turns bad, the Tennessee Valley turns to Hot News Talk Radio.
Go, 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 go.
Welcome back to the Sabrena Realty Hour here on 1240 AM Hot News Talk Radio. We have a very special guest here with us today, Mike Fessler. And before we start back up our conversation. I don't think we gave out our phone number during the first half of the show. So for anyone thinking about buying a home or selling a home, we have some fabulous agents just sitting by waiting to hear from you. And they can be reached at 423-499-7780. That's 423-499-7780. Or visit our website at SabrenaRealty.com. And you should be very impressed with it, since we have Mike Fessler with Flypaper here who helped design our website.
That's right. I hope so.
Mike, social media.
Yeah.
It plays a role in everything nowadays. I know you had said, we were talking in the first half of the show, how you were kind of late coming on the scene with social media. I was as well. I know that we had a company Facebook page, and I didn't personally get on there and get a personal page until I decided to run for public office. And it just, you basically it was at a point you had to have a presence on Facebook. So let's kind of talk about how social media has evolved and how that plays a role into what you're doing in helping businesses have that digital marketing presence and helping them go to number one in the rankings when someone's doing a search on Google or whatever.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Google, what we call Google is the gateway to the internet, right? So now everyone says Google it for a reason.
That's
so it's replaced, the old school directories and the phone books. No offense to those guys, but every time I've gotten a phone book, it's always gone in the trash. And so Google has made it so easy to get the information that we're looking for quickly, easily, and be on our way. For us as a society, we're, everything's got to be quick. We want that information right at our fingertips. And, we're so busy that, we want to constantly be going and have that information quickly. And so, people spend roughly, 10 minutes a day on Google looking for information. From there, they're going to the rest of the internet and are spending roughly 6 hours a day online. 6 hours of their day online on a connected device, whether it's your smartphone or your tablet, your desktop, laptop, whatever the case may be, 6 hours a day. So of those 6 hours, guess how much time people spend on social media? Take a guess.
Probably 5.
5, you would think, wouldn't you? Yeah. The 28% of the time, actually, people spend on social media. So it has completely changed the game for, not only us as individuals being able to connect with, our friends from, back in high school or college, stay connected with, other business leaders but also for the business, it's allowed them to get their message out in front of consumers online. And so there's a number of ways that they can do that. Obviously, creating a Facebook page is paramount, and you can do it right from your personal page. And this is one of the things that we do at Flypaper. And I'll say our social media campaigns overall right now are performing at the highest level of everything that we do. And it really goes back to the amount of time that people spend on social media. And so, if you're a business, obviously you want to get your message out in front of, potential consumers, potential buyers online, where the traffic is, right? And so social media is where the traffic is. And so, I'll say this from a business page standpoint. If you out there listening, if you manage a page, most of you work somewhere, or if you're the business owner yourself and your page currently has less than 1,000 likes to it, call us. We can help you. We can help grow that page. And we don't do it by selling shady likes to people in foreign countries. We do it by, growing it legitimately, targeted at users who are interested in your services. And so, Facebook alone allows the single most targeted advertising options of any platform out there, from, income, age brackets, gender, interest, buying behaviors, location. We can target one user in Saudi Daisy if we wanted to. So that's how targeted we can get with Facebook. But again, if your page has less than 1,000 likes, please call us. Don't sit there with 20 likes to your fan page.
You know, I remember reading, and this has probably been a decade or more. I read that the CEO of Coca-Cola at the time said he knew for a fact half of his marketing dollars were a complete waste. He just didn't know which half. But with the website, that investment, you know, it's not like a billboard. It only works if you drive by it. That website is there. And even when you're asleep, your Facebook page is still up, the website's still up, and it's still getting you results.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, and that's the great thing with digital is you know if it works or not, because all those things I mentioned earlier about metrics and tracking and calls coming in, we can track every bit of that from forms that are being filled out on your website, even with your Facebook. So here's another change with Facebook that happened last year, March of 2015, actually. So everyone knows that we have Facebook Messenger for our personal accounts, right? So you can message someone right there from Facebook, just like an email almost. Well, now, or starting March of last year, you can do that from a business to consumer or a business to business. So Facebook opened up the ability for consumers to be able to message businesses online, or businesses to be able to message consumers even online. So that's completely changed the game as well. And, you know, for a lot of our clients, we have noticed that people are sending them messages right to their Facebook page, asking them, you know, about, we have an event planner in our portfolio. And so asking, you know, what days, what times, you know, when can they book that space for an upcoming event?
How important do you think Twitter and Instagram are to a business, or are they?
I think it depends on the business. You know, Instagram is actually one of the fastest growing social platforms out there currently. And the reason being, it's all picture related, right? So, you know, even Facebook now, when we do our Facebook campaigns, typically you're going to see we're going to put a picture with it, because people respond to, you know, visual elements. And so we want to grab their attention, and we can do that with pictures. And so I think that's why Instagram is so hot right now. You know, the jury's still out from a business standpoint. Is it profitable or not? But both Facebook and Instagram have advertising options for the business to where you can get beyond your current followers or likes, which is huge. And so, as I mentioned earlier, if you have 20 likes to your Facebook page, please call us. We can help you get beyond those likes. Otherwise, you're literally just talking to your, you know, your couple of friends and family that like your page. And so we have options that we can get beyond there with both Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Well, that brings me to my next question. What do you think's hot and trendy, and what do you think's here to stay and may just be a fad?
Sure.
Or something that's trendy today?
Well, to get to the trends, you know, first of all, what's hot right now? You know, I would say 5 things are really hot right now in the digital marketing world. Number one being social ads, what we were just talking about on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, being able to advertise to a specific audience, targeting them. I would even go to the Facebook Messenger, which is really hot right now, trending, to where you can directly contact that business owner, or they can contact, you know, you. Right. I would also say native advertising is really blowing up, and this is something that's meant to blend into its surrounding. That's why it's called native. And so,
not negative, but native.
Native, right? Yes. And so on Facebook, you know, most of you have noticed that, you know, when you're scrolling your page and you see what typically was posts from your friends and family, now you're starting to see some businesses show up in that news feed. And this is native advertising. So it's meant to not be as obtrusive and promotional. And so, you know, we would encourage businesses, if you are doing this native advertising, you know, not be so salesy when doing that. So again, it's meant to be native and to capture someone's attention really quickly, and to have them click on your ad or click on your picture so that they'll take them to your website or to whatever your offer is or your event, whatever it is that you're promoting. So I would say in the last 2 things, content is still king. You know, good content on your website and across the board, you know, social media outlets. you want to have great content, that gives users information, what they're looking for, answering the right questions. And this is where a blog comes in and can be huge for a business. You're asking the questions that your consumers or you're answering the questions that your consumers are asking online. And so a blog is a good way to direct that traffic to you and kind of become the voice, the expert, so for you in real estate, to become the expert in real estate. And then, your blog is attached to your website. And so they're able to contact you right from your website. And then the last thing, mobile. Everything has to be mobile friendly because, we're looking at 60% of all searches and views to your website are all mobile related. And so, making sure that site is mobile friendly, making sure you're doing mobile targeting options, so that people can find you when they're on the run. And so that kind of leads into what's really changed the game with digital is, hyper targeting options, geofencing options. When someone walks into a store, or even if someone lives in a neighborhood and you as a business owner wants to target that neighborhood for whatever reason. So maybe this neighborhood is a little older, these the people that live there may be ripe for a kitchen remodel or a bath remodel, and you're a remodeler.
Right.
We can do geofencing campaigns to the folks in that neighborhood to get your message out in front of them, knowing that eventually they're going to need your services. Right. So hyper local, hyper targeted. Wow. We could even target based on weather. Technical. Yeah. So very exciting.
Well, let me ask you this, going back to blogging, because I know I haven't been the best at that. How important is it to blog, and how does that play into pushing a business up in the rankings? And if you are blogging, how long does the blog need to be? Because, you can only hold someone's attention for so long.
Right. Well, this is, and this is another kind of pet peeve with some social media campaigns we see out there where, they might post every single day or post 4 or 5 times a day. If you post too often, if you oversaturate your audience, you're going to lose them.
That's true.
So the same goes with blogging. We would say once or twice a month, I think is good. And you don't want to overpace yourself or, think that you can do more than you really can. So, maybe the first goal is to shoot for once a month. As far as, how long the blog should be, not super long. I mean, 4 to 5 paragraphs, I think, is probably at the max level, but you can get away with 2 to 3 as well. And then obviously your blog is attached to your website. And so it does affect your SEO rankings again, because you're becoming the expert resource in your industry. And so what Google really cares about is a great user experience. So they don't care about you as the business. Unfortunately, we like to think that they care about us, right? They care about the user has a great experience, that they're going to get the information they're looking for quickly and be on their way. Otherwise, they're not going to come back to Google. So when you're answering those questions that consumers are asking from a blog standpoint, Google loves that, and they help you in the rankings as a result. So, but when we talk about SEO, there are so many factors to SEO.
That stands for search engine optimization, correct? For anybody out there that doesn't know. And then there are SEM as well. Can you talk about both of those and how important that is for a company and how that works?
Sure. So, they kind of go hand in hand. What we talk about as far as search engine optimization is we kind of define it as the marathon. So it takes time. Search engine marketing is immediate. We call it the sprint. And so search engine marketing is really like a bidding strategy that you have for different keywords in your industry. And so, if you're a hotel in Chattanooga and you want to show up for, let's say, things to do in Chattanooga, because that keyword is relevant to your industry, right? If somebody's in Atlanta and they're searching for things to do in Chattanooga, Tennessee, they're likely going to be staying at a hotel there. And so that's a keyword that you want to put a bid on Google, Yahoo, and Bing. We don't neglect Yahoo and Bing. Google, they own about 80% of the market share. They're the dominating force, but Yahoo and Bing are equally, not equally, but they're important. So we don't want to neglect them, but it's a bidding strategy. And so different keywords cost, more or less than other keywords. And we put, most of our clients have a fixed spend, and, some like to spend more in the summer months if they're, if that's their bread and butter season. And so we'll fluctuate their spend, based on the demand for their products and services. But there actually was a change to Google that just came out. So you've probably noticed on the right side, the right bar on a SERP page. And so SERP stands for Search Engine Results page. So on that right bar, Google has done away with ads. And so now you're limited to about 7 ads per keyword search. So you have 4 at the top and then 3 at the bottom typically. It depends on the industry, how competitive it is, again. But the more you bid for a certain keyword, obviously, the more closer you are to the top of that Google page.
It sounds like at Flypaper that you guys are customizing websites for each business, and there's a menu of options that you can do. And I guess that you are having to customize that for each owner, depending on what type of business it is. I mean, you have a lot of options, right?
Sure. We look at every campaign as a custom opportunity, and so we sit down and strategize with a business owner or the director of marketing or whoever's making those marketing decisions. And then, we come up with a plan that is based on their needs and, that will get them to the next level. So we don't focus on where they are now. We focus on where they want to be. And so, when we're meeting with them, it's not about us. It's about them and how we can, put them in front of people that they're not reaching currently.
And I'm curious too, we haven't spoken about YouTube. Is YouTube important? Are you guys implementing that as well? And is that helping a business move up in the rankings? Does YouTube play a role in that?
It does. Yeah. YouTube is owned by Google. Most people don't realize that. So it is a major player. And I would say even beyond YouTube, video advertising as a whole is really exploding, in growth right now as well. And so there's a lot of great video options out there, within Facebook, social media outlets. So yes, YouTube is very important. And because it is owned by Google, if you have a YouTube page for one, if you have videos there for 2, and if it's optimized with keywords, in your description on your YouTube page, then yes, it will increase your rankings.
So do you guys have a professional photographer and videographer on hand that you can call if someone wants to do a video, maybe that they want to display on their front page of their website?
Yes, we sure do.
How important is that? And you said, Mels, testimonials are important in the real estate industry. Having a past client, someone you've done business with, to come on and do a video or something like that. What do you think about that? Do you think that
I would definitely say yes. Testimonials are huge, and so that's another part of your website that's really a must-have. With the rise of businesses coming online, we have the rise of consumers being more savvy, right? So I know for me, like I'm kind of a nerd in that before I make a buying decision or a purchase, I spend months, sometimes even years, like researching that industry, that business, to make sure I'm making, the right decision, whatever the case may be. And so having testimonials is something that people can look back on, promoting you as a business, promoting your relationships, whatever, you've got to go above and beyond just the business transaction. And so testimonials is a good way to kind of give that personal touch, that personal interaction, to show that you're more than there just to receive their money or their dollar. Right.
Well, I'm curious, do you have any case studies you can share with our listeners today on, the starting point for any business with digital marketing? Maybe you have some examples you can share with us today. Hey, we had company A and here's where we started, and they implemented everything we recommended, and here's where they are today. I'd be curious to hear some real life stories.
So there's a number of examples where, we've taken on a business that had no website, or even had a website, and it was not optimized. No one had built the roads, leading to and from it. And, now when you do searches for, any of their products or services online, they're on the first or second page of Google. Now we're quick to say we don't guarantee from an SEO standpoint that we can get you on the first page of Google. No one can guarantee you that, not even Google themselves. And so if someone's telling you that, be careful with them. But a number of our clients, yes, we have seen huge improvement in the rankings. I know of one client that we took over their campaign, and they're a larger client. When I was doing searches, I did a number of keyword searches for them prior around their services, was careful not to type in their name. I didn't see any pay-per-click ads for them at all. And then once we took their campaign over, I typed in things that people would be searching for that were interesting, or that were related to them. And they're, in the first placement from an SEM standpoint, an ad.
Right.
So from a pay-per-click campaign aspect, we can, pretty much guarantee that you're going to be top of mind, top of page of Google if your spend level is there. And, kind of depending on the competitiveness of that industry. But the one campaign I love that I mentioned earlier is December, January of this past year. We took on a social media client and generated more than $80,000 in revenue for them in 2 months.
That is phenomenal. Now, you guys have an expo coming up. Let's tell the listeners about the expo.
So the Expo Chattanooga is a really fun event. It's open to the public. It is Wednesday, March 23rd. Our booth is 419. And so we as a team have got some really cool, exciting things planned. I don't want to give anything away, but
I expect you to have my website on display now. Give me some free advertising.
We will.
Now, for anyone listening today, Mike, how can they get in touch with you?
You can contact me directly at 770-315-7560. Again, that's 770-315-7560. Our flypaper website is flypaperchat.com, and that's 2 T's in chat. You can go there and see some cool videos that we've created, learn a little bit more about our team, and kind of see a few more case studies and some websites we've built there as well. But please give us a call.
You guys have done a great job for me. You're very responsive. I never text you, call you, email you that I don't get a response. You've got phenomenal customer service. So for anyone looking to improve their website, which is what I did, I would advise them to give you a call. And for anyone thinking about buying a home or selling their home, please call Sabrena Realty Associates. That's 423-499-7780, 423-499-7780, or visit our website at SabrenaRealty.com. Thank you for listening today to the Sabrena Realty Hour on 1240 AM Hot News Talk Radio. We'll be back here in the studio next Tuesday. Look forward to talking to you again. Thank you.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting over. I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Take a risk, fail miserably. I'm right, and I'm not wrong, and I'll never back down. Conflict works. Allow it.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Right here and everywhere. Noon Eastern.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Fox News Talk 1240. In the middle of our street.
Hi, I'm Sabrena with Sabrena Realty Associates. Now is a great time to sell your home. In our area, inventory is at an all-time low, which translates into higher sales prices. Call us today at 423-499-7780 to set up a free consultation and discuss our unique and aggressive marketing programs. We will provide you with a free market analysis to determine the right value of your home. Call us today at 423-499-7780 or visit our website at SabrenaRealty.com.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house.
Money, lots and lots of money. I want to buy and On your signature, you can get $150,000. Can you believe that? $150,000 on your signature. Hi, I'm Bruce Krebs with the Entrepreneur.